Well, okay, we're trying something a little different this morning. We are going to go dig up a, wow, where are we? Privy that I believe right where my pen tip is, right there, which would be a perfect spot for back 1896 when this Sanborn map was made. This house was on the 1876 map, and the current owner claims it's 175 years old, making it 1840 something. You know, I don't know about that. She claims it's the oldest house on the block, which is only a block away from my house. That being said, this spot here, from this edge all the way to here on later maps, was all built in, part of this. And even though in 1896 it's a furniture storage, it was a house later on, and it's a house today. But the house comes only about, I guess it does come back to here. Interesting thing is, though, today the house still has this little jut right here where it juts in a little bit. Very strange. Also, there's a couple of sheds. They're separated, but they're just about where this big one is. Very unusual. Yeah, it's strangely the same and strangely different. This here is an alley that runs there, and other than the street numbers being different, not a whole lot else is. So either this privy goes to this structure, or it goes to, I'm hoping it goes to the older house, which makes as much sense as anything. The only way I'll get to know is to get to digging, so that's where I'm off to today. Well, okay, after about an hour of digging behind 311 South 6th, it's about 10 minutes past noon on October 9th. We have a few decent days before it gets chilly. Someone's stabbing me, excuse me. Anyway, I'm in this coal pit. It goes down about 3.5 feet. I did find this is what's keeping me going, is this clear whittled mason jar, 1858. That's the only piece I got of it, but I'm assuming it's ground top. And then a few other odd pieces that are unidentifiable as to make or age, whatever. They look newish, so I'm guessing this probably is the privy to the old house here. Anyway, just taking a break, seeing what time it was, and taking a picture. Well, alrighty, after probably another hour of digging, kept wondering where the glass layer was. I hit first a coal layer, then a rust layer. I hit glass back here where my foot's tapping. And I hit a couple of bottles back up in here, a beer, and then a what looks like a Ferro-China bitters, or I'm sure it's a bitters. I couldn't figure out why I could not wiggle it out from the bottom until I got my glove off and I felt it. I thought, oh yeah, this is huge. But it looks to be without chips. The beer came out right next to it. I saw that funky old seam and I thought, boy, that could be a, there we go, that could be a
old whiskey. And before those two came out, I dug up this bad boy. And I was like, oh, don't tell me. I have to stop saying that because every time I do, it comes out not telling me. And before all that, where I was tapping my foot, came two fairly whole wax sealers and two perfect plain ketchups. And on the way down, a smattering of French squares. Look like they're about 1880s. So, probably put another hour into it and then call it a day. I'm beat. I dug all this with just my itty bitty shovel. Yeah, I'm crazy. Well, true to my word, I'm quitting before 3. That being said, seems to be a fruit jar and a food pickle spot. Everything unembossed except for a dish. You know. And that which is embossed, like this lovely standard, has a big freaking hole in it, which makes about the 20th. I don't think I've ever dug so many wax sealers, broken or whole, combined. Oh, it must be 20 busted ones here. 2 semi-whole ones that I'm taking home. That's about it. That is about it. So, with that in mind, I may come back this evening, I may come back tomorrow. Depends on what the weather forecast is and how my back feels in an hour or two. I definitely need a longer handled shovel. That's getting borderline ridiculous down there. Yeah. Well, already, Monday, October 14, behind 311 South 6th again, and I'm here to finish this thing out 5 days later. Anyway, I don't have much to go, I don't believe, so I'm short on time. I only got about an hour and a half, so it's time to start digging. I have to be quiet. Well, after about actually an hour and a half of digging, I got a half a dozen nothing bottles, and that's about it. So it's time to fill this puppy in. Sad but true. A couple more pharmacies. I was sure were going to be Louisiana. They probably were, but the paper label is long gone, so you never know. That's it. We're done with this one. Alrighty, well, here's another one of those kind of digs where one good bottle and one good jar came out. And the jar was a turn mold, which is indicator it's not quite as old as the other style jars. And as cool as it was, I ended up selling it when I thinned out my collection. So this bad boy I thought was a possible one of those French bitters or who knows what with the turn mold shoulder seal on it, and it's pretty hard to make out. Got initials Envod, Covet. A quick internet search revealed that this was actually a bottle of absinthe, which was illegal in this country right up till about 15 years ago. Something in the contents of wormwood. It was thought to have made people go crazy and run amok. You would have thought they would have figured it out by the 60s that it was probably not a big deal, but no. They had to wait another 40 years to make sure that it didn't make people crazier than crack. I don't know. But that being said, they don't seem to be rare, or that they don't tend to bring much money, if they are. I think I had 10 bucks on it and nobody bought it, and I thought, well, this is crazy. I'll just keep the darn thing, because only one I've ever dug up. Now, I may have dug one up before but didn't realize what it was, because the seal looks pretty generic, other than that cross on it. Almost makes it look Swiss or something. Anyway, enough blah blah. There you go. Tool top, applied seal, turn mold. You know, just your plain Jane wine looking thing. But it's more than wine, it's absinthe.